So Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be having this Shabbat 2 Sifrei Torah. One Sefer Torah for the weekly parasha, Parashat Vayikel, and the second parasha that's going to be Parashat Para. We'll be reading about the Para Aduma. You know, I heard something interesting that says that Parashat Vayikel was said the next day after Yom Kippur. What does that mean? Moshe Rabbeinu went up for the second time to Shamayim to get the Torah, right? And when he came down, Borei Olam told him before he came down, Salachti chidvarecha. That day was Yom Kippurim. Right away after Borei Olam forgive him, then Vayakel Moshe Rabbeinu gathered all the Bam Israel, right? Ela devarim shetzivah Hashem lemor, regarding teruma for the building of the Mishkan, which means to be able to build the Mishkan, we needed the kapara of Am Yisrael from the Chet HaEgel. And right away, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgive us, so then immediately we started the process for the building of the Mishkan. So I heard that we all know what Chazal is saying, that Yom Kippur, it's Kippurim. So right after Yom Kippur was finished, / right after Purim is finished, we started right away with Vayakel. Okay? Why? Because there is a full connection in between Purim and Vayakel. Yom Kippur and Vayakel, that is the two actions that HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgive us, and right away we start the action of building a house to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's something that each one of us will have to know, that a person cannot do Avodat Hashem without Teshuvah. A person cannot become closer to Borei Olam if you don't ask for sorry and you don't fix what you did wrong. So it's an obligation. Before you learn Torah, before you pray, before you do a mitzvah, if you know that you did something wrong, so you have to first ask Mechila. You know, the Hafetz Chaim brings down the Zohar HaKadosh that says that a person uses his mouth to pray, he uses his mouth to learn Torah, but 5 minutes ago, he used that same mouth to speak Lashon Hara. And that mouth that spoke Lashon Hara, according to the Zohar, is surrounded by Koach Tum'ah, by a negative force. At the second that a person takes out words of Torah, that negative force covers the words of Kedusha, and the words of Kedusha are not having their impact. Therefore, just before you start praying, okay, we should ask Mechila. You know, it's interesting that in the Korbanot of the morning, we actually have a prayer that we ask for Mechila. Okay, we have the Yih Ratzon. There is a Yih Ratzon before Veshachat Oto, right? That it says over there about Mechila, that our averot should be clean. I forget the Lashon. If there is any Siddur, I can read it inside for you. Anyway, we see that before you pray, before you do a mitzvah, think a second. Did I do something wrong? I ask Mechila. But I want to continue with you. We said that the second parasha is Parashat Para. Parashat Para, we spoke a little bit about it yesterday. We explained that Parashat Para is a chok. What does that mean, a chok? It's something not logic. We explained yesterday why it's not logic, so we gave a couple of explanations. According to the basic explanation, it's not logic to have somebody that is making the whole process to make his friend tahor, and eventually is able to make his friend tahor. And once his friend becomes tahor, the one who was doing the process, he became tameh. Very good. The Gemara writes that Shlomo HaMelech said, "Amarti achkema v'rechoka mimeni." Shlomo HaMelech said, I was sure that with the chokhmah that I got, I will know everything. And I was sure that I will know the reason of Para Aduma. When I started to learn it, I understood that he is too far away from my logic, too far away from my understanding. But Rabotai, there is a very interesting process in the paraduma. How was the process of paraduma? Thank you very much. The process of paraduma was a person who became tameh because he went to cemetery, he touched a dead body, he was in the same place under the same roof where dead body was. This fellow is called tameh met. Tameh met needs a process of 7 days of purifying himself. In these 7 days, they're gonna take the paraduma, they're gonna do shechita to the paraduma, they will burn the paraduma, the ashes of the paraduma, they will mix it up with water, they will take agudat ezov. Agudat ezov was like a type of herb, to dip the herb inside this mixture, right? And then they're sprinkling this water to the person who is tameh. They do it the 3rd and the 7th day of the process of his tahara. Okay? Once he finished with that, it's not over. Not over. The 7th day, the guy that is trying to become tahor, he must dip inside the mikveh fully, and then he becomes tahor, and he also has to bring a korban. Now, Rabotai, let me ask you a question. Why such a headache? Why such a headache? Do shahita, paraduma, the sprinkling, and it's not enough sprinkling, go to the mikveh. What's the point? So, one of the explanations is that tum'ah, the concept of impurity, it's something that blocks ourselves from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Blocks. By having tum'ah, kivyachol, we cannot be next to Borei Olam. Borei Olam is fully kedusha, like we say in the Nagdishah, kadosh, 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 Hashem Tzavakot, is the maximum potential of kedusha. A person who is tameh cannot even get closer to that radius of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's all the way far away. The Torah is coming to teach us that the process for becoming closer to Borei Olam cannot happen in one instant. It's a mistake. And people that think that in one day you're going to change and I will never do it again, we're already telling you, you're living in a dream. It's not possible. To have the possibility and the strength to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's a daily work, step by step. And at the beginning, yes, you have a little bit of effort to get closer, but it's not enough. You're still very far away. The day of tomorrow, you're going to do a little bit more. One day, you're going to do a larger step that represents the Ezov of the 3rd day. Then again, you go slowly. Only when a person works drop by drop is able to get and to achieve the complete level of Tahara. That's the message of Paraduma. You should know, Zot Chukat Torah. The Torah says, I call the Paraduma Chok of the Torah, the rule of Torah. You want to have Torah in your life, there is no shortcuts. Today, a lot of people, they love the segulot. Rabbi, give me a segula for, I don't know, whatever, parnasa. Give me a segula to be able to be more calm. Give me a segula to not, not to be stressed. Segulot are shortcuts. You want to know what's the solution? Avodat amidot. Work on yourself. You want to have parnasa? Work on yourself. In what? In emunah, in bitachon, in being righteous in your business. It's a work. It's not going to happen in one day. You want to be more calm? You want to stop getting angry? You got to work on yourself. Every day, learn a little bit of Musar. All the shortcuts, the Misad Sharim brings a mashal. There was a fellow, it says in Misad Sharim, that he was in the path, and then he found himself in between two roads, right? So he didn't know which road to take. So there was a man that was passing by, working the land over there. So he asked him, "Sir, I need to get to this destination. Which direction, which road I should take?" So this man told him, "Listen, both roads take you to the same destination. This one is shorter, but longer. The other one is longer, but shorter." So what do you mean? What do you mean? Longer but shorter, shorter and longer? What do you mean? He says, "Listen, I recommend you take the longer that is shorter. But if you want, you can take the shorter that is longer. It's up to you. Can you explain to me?" "No, I'm busy, whatever. Have a nice day." The guy said, "Listen, I don't understand." He says, "Shorter. I take the shorter." He took the shorter. The shorter road was all type of, was not a comfortable road. All type of rivers and stuff, and he has to climb and he has to go down. There is thorns. He ended up that it was a shorter but longer, with all type of obstacles. The other path was longer but smooth. But having it smooth is shorter. It's exactly the same thing, says the Mesilat Yesharim, in our own personal Avodat Hashem. You try to take shortcuts, sounds short. It's not. It will be longer. When you try to do the long way, what's the long way? Every day, sit down and learn a little bit of Musar. Have your book of Musar 10 minutes a day. And it's a process. You will find yourself that it is much quicker. More than what you thought. It's too long, it's not too long. It's going to be smooth. That's Chukat Torah. You want to have the rule of the Torah? Adam ki yamut ba'oel. Yeah? The whole concept of Parah Adumah that teaches us that the process of Tahara, it's step by step. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Yochanan ben Aglishah אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיכך